CodeWalker is a code mapping tool that allows you to take source code from multiple languages and map it out and see it in 2 and 3 dimensions. And this is the 2-dimensional version called Microscope. But today we're going to do something kind of different. I'm going to show you the latest version of the augmented reality / virtual reality version of CodeWalker. We're going to do this on a Meta Quest 3, and this is running on Oculus Desktop using a link cable. Now, if you watched any of the earlier videos about CodeWalker in VR, you probably know that, well, you can use the hand controllers to do a lot. And this version is actually different and unique in that it is kind of a reimagining of the whole thing that doesn't use hand controllers. Instead, it uses hand gestures. And so we're actually not going to use the hand controllers at all. I'm just going to turn these off and set them to the side. And now I'm going to put my hands in front of my face like this, and that activates the hands. So the first gesture that I'm going to use is this one, and this summons the main menu. And so from here, what I want to do is I'm going to turn the pass-through on so you can see the room around me. And then I can close the menu just like that. Or if I wanted to, I could open it again. And then what I want to do right now is I'm going to load the current file that's been sent from the PC and then close that menu again. And you can see it's floating up here in space. So I'm just going to grab this like I'm grabbing something and kind of grabbing nothing at the same time and move the whole thing and just position it right here over the desktop. So right here, you can see everything, all my code, and over on the side, you can see the PC version of this looking at me. And so if I wanted to zoom in on any of this code, I can go like this and zoom in, and I can place this around the room. And I might have shown you that I did show you this in an earlier video about how cool it is to be able to take your code and just go stick it somewhere in your room and be able to like stick the code on different parts of the walls and use your spatial reasoning to kind of understand how to see and interact with code. Now, one of the other things that we did was, if you notice, if I'm using both hands and I pinch, the pinch gesture will resize things, and that's normal. But if I don't want this hand to operate, or either hand to operate, all I have to do is set it on the table or set it lower than what I call a dead zone. And at that point, then any pinch gestures I make are not going to affect anything else. The only way that they'll do that is if they're higher than that dead zone. It's kind of funny because Apple came up with this idea that you would use your pinch gesture and you would look at things, and that's how you would interact with things. But what we found was that it's actually kind of difficult to not accidentally pinch, or at least have the computer think you're pinching, if you have your hand just resting. So if you have your hand just like this to the headset, it looks like you're pinching. And that's really awkward. And so, if you're using an Apple headset, you have to keep your hand in a position where it's not going to think you're trying to pinch. And I don't know. I just thought it would be easier to have a dead zone where if your hand is there, then it doesn't matter what you do. It's not going to think that you're pinching. So that's what that is. This pop-up menu here is a context menu that goes away if you move too far away from it. And that's all there is to that. So if you wanted to select something, you could grab it and then move it and then open this context menu like that. The bottom one obviously is the close button. Each of these icons does a different thing. So this one is just going to isolate this, and it's going to hide all the other stuff behind it. And if I do this again, I can pop all the rest of the code back out from that. So if I wanted to grab this one, let's try that. There we go. I pop that open. I could move this around just by itself, and then where it's in a position I like, and I wanted the other code out, I just go like that, and that's going to put all the code out there. So this is I just wanted to give you a quick overview of the basic hand gestures that you use in this. There's obviously a ton of options to explore, and we're going to get into those in a different video. But what I wanted to show you was those simple hand gestures. They are summon the main menu. You can close it by putting your hand over the top. You can pinch to move things around. You can point to select things. You can also, as you reach out to pinch something, it will select things underneath, depending on where you are trying to pinch. And this whole system here, by the way, the pinching thing is actually custom. We had to create a very custom one because we needed very specific control over what it feels like you're pinching, so that it feels like it's grabbing the right thing. When you use it, it should feel very natural and not at all as weird as some of the earlier versions we tried. So let's see what we can also do. Oh yeah, double pinch gesture will pinch basically and move basically everything, move and scale everything. And then you can select one particular piece and move it around with one hand. You can open the shield menu, we call it, and from here you can select other things like that. And it's a weird thing, but after a while you kind of get used to being able to move things around in your room, and it kind of reminds me of how in the early days of computing, it was a little bit annoying when you would have something that you did on your computer and you could use undo all you wanted, and then in the real world you couldn't use undo. And that's kind of similar to this. I'm used to being able to grab code and move it around and position it in different places in the room and walk around and look at it and think about it. And I can't do that with anything else. I can't just have like, you know, pictures and pick them up and just place them right there in the real world. It just doesn't work like that. So this allows you to basically play with code as if it's a real thing that's sitting in your room, and you're able to position it in 3D space. It allows you to learn things, like the flow of things, a lot faster than just looking at the text. It's a lot more interesting, and frankly, it's kind of fun. So there you go. That is the current version of CodeWalker VR /AR, because we are doing this in augmented reality. And man, I cannot wait to see how this works on augmented reality headsets that are just the glasses. You know, those look really fascinating. I really think that's probably, you know, what this does right here is this. If I didn't already have a VR headset and I used this just once and use some of the features that I'll show you over the weekend, over the next videos, I would immediately go out and buy a headset. This is 100% reason to buy a VR headset that's not a video game. And honestly, this is one of the first use cases that I've seen for it that after using this just for a little bit, I can't not do it. If I'm trying to figure something out, I'm trying to figure out how the flow of something is supposed to work or trying to debug something, it's so much easier to just take the code and make it gigantic and walk around the room and look at it than it is to constantly stare at it on a little screen, even on a big screen. Because this can be a 20-foot tall screen. This, I can use the entire room. I can use multiple rooms and put the code all over the place and just walk around and think through it. And you just simply can't do that any other way. So big thanks to the guys at Meta for creating the Meta Quest with the pass-through cameras. Oh my gosh, this has just changed everything. And so you're seeing this right now because of the high quality Meta Quest pass-through full color cameras. And as a person just sitting here at the desk, I mean, I can tell this is my desk. I can see everything. It's full color. You're seeing just what I see, only that it's in stereo for me. And it's just amazing. Simply amazing. Anyway, just want to show you that. That's where the current version is. We've got a ton of features. Again, all this stuff we're going to talk about this weekend in various videos. But right now I wanted to show you that. And let me know what you think. Let me know if you have any suggestions or requests. If you think that you have any questions about how this should work or how it could work. I'm very curious to know. All right. Thanks. Have a great day.